Today, we aren't merely examining a history of ideas, but the epic story of the biological organ that generates them, the human brain. We will trace the remarkable journey of the mind, from its distant molecular origins in ancient chemistry through billions of years of evolution to our current digital age. This reveals how a modest 3-pound mass of wrinkled tissue emerged as the universe's most complex structure. The story of the mind begins with the fundamental ability to process information. Long before complex brains existed, there were ion channels. Early multicellular organisms developed the ability to move and respond through electrochemical signaling. By pumping ions across a membrane, cells created a primitive binary code, fire or don't fire. This simple biological switch is the fundamental cellular ancestry of every thought you've ever had, what truly makes us human. Recent genomic studies point to specific markers like the ARHK11B gene. This human-specific gene appeared after our lineage split from chimpanzees. It triggers the dramatic folding of the neocortex, the wrinkles of the brain, allowing us to pack billions more neurons into the same limited skull space. It is, quite literally, the specific genetic blueprint that enables high-level abstract thinking. We are an evolutionary palimpsest, with new cognitive systems written over ancient ones. We possess the lizard brain for survival, the limbic system for emotion, and the neocortex for logic. The history of the mind is the story of these three systems attempting to cooperate. When you feel hangry or afraid, your ancient biology speaks. When you solve math, you utilize your modern hardware. In biology, size matters, but the brain-to-body ratio matters more. Our encephalization quotient, EQ, is roughly 7.0, meaning our brains are 7 times larger than expected for our size. This came at a massive metabolic cost. Your brain represents 2% of your weight but consumes 20% of your energy. Our ancestors made a massive biological bet that intelligence would provide a better return than muscle. The human mind was effectively fueled by the hearth. Raw food requires immense metabolic energy to digest, but when Homo erectus harnessed fire, we outsourced the digestive process to the flames. This transition allowed our guts to shrink, redirecting a massive calorie surplus toward our hungry brains. Ultimately, cooking became the first technological catalyst for the rapid cognitive expansion that defined our modern species. At the molecular level, the modern mind is defined by plasticity. Specific genetic mutations enhanced our synaptic receptors, particularly those involved in glutamate signaling. This made our brains stickier, meaning we could form stronger memories and learn from experience significantly faster than any other species. This essential hardware upgrade set the biological stage for the development of culture, tradition, and the accumulation of shared knowledge. Approximately 70,000 years ago, the cognitive revolution fundamentally transformed human existence. A sudden explosion in sophisticated art, specialized tools, and complex rituals emerged. Crucially, humans began inhabiting an imagined reality alongside the physical one. We no longer perceived just a lion. We envisioned a lion spirit or a lion clan, allowing shared fictions to unite larger groups through the power of collective belief. Language serves as the mind's essential operating system, driving human progress. A pivotal mutation in the FOXP2 gene refined the fine motor control of our larynx and tongue, enabling nuanced vocalization. This tiny molecular tweak was revolutionary. Without it, complex speech would have been biologically impossible. Consequently, humans gained the unique ability to transmit intricate ideas and collective knowledge across generations with high precision. A pivotal milestone in cognitive history is the development of theory of mind, the biological capacity to recognize that others possess unique knowledge or perspectives. This realization allowed for sophisticated deception, deep empathy, and complex cooperation. As the fundamental bedrock of social intelligence, it transformed us into a hypersocial species, enabling humans to navigate intricate relationships and build the collective structures of civilization. When a piece of red ochre ceases to be a mere rock and becomes a symbol of blood or life, the human mind has leaped into abstraction. Symbolic thinking enabled humans to store information outside their own bodies for the first time. This critical transition from purely internal to external thought represents the true hallmark of the modern mind, effectively birthing the concepts of culture and history. Because of language, humans became the only species capable of collective learning. While a dog must learn everything from scratch in its own lifetime, a human inherits the software of thousands of years of ancestors. Our minds are not isolated individual units. They are nodes in a massive, ancient network of information, where knowledge accumulates over generations rather than being lost at death. Agriculture fundamentally changed our psychology. We moved from the immediate present tense focus of hunter-gatherers to the future tense orientation of farmers. We began to think about harvests months away, leading to the development of chronic anxiety, patience, and the concept of work as a distinct life category. This shift necessitated the invention of complex laws, property rights, and the first bureaucratic systems. Writing was the first true brain-computer interface. By offloading memory onto clay or papyrus, we freed up biological bandwidth for higher-level processing. The mind was no longer limited by what a single person could remember. This externalization of data made history and science possible, allowing a person to speak to another across thousands of miles or even thousands of years of time. During the Enlightenment, the mind developed a new filter, the scientific method. We moved from seeking why to seeking how. This was a major shift in cognitive orientation, valuing doubt over certainty and empirical evidence over established authority. By standardizing how we observe the world, we created a collective engine for progress that rapidly accelerated our technological and medical capabilities. The Industrial Revolution synchronized our minds to the clock. We moved from biological time, governed by the sun and seasons, to mechanical time, measured in minutes and seconds. This shift created a new kind of mental stress, the pressure of efficiency and productivity. This artificial rhythm still defines our modern psyche, influencing everything from our sleep patterns to our persistent feeling of time poverty. We used to think the mind was a blank slate at birth, but molecular biology tells us otherwise. Epigenetics shows that the experiences of our ancestors, famine, war, or stability, can leave chemical tags on our DNA. These don't change the genetic code itself, but they change how genes are expressed, presetting our mind's stress response and temperament before we are even born. Today, our minds have leaked into our devices. We use GPS instead of spatial mapping and search engines instead of long-term memory. We are effectively cyborgs already, using silicon-based tools to extend our biological cognition. This is fundamentally shifting our attention spans and how we process narrative as our brains adapt to a world of instant information and constant digital stimulation. The most hopeful discovery in modern neuroscience is that the mind is never truly finished. Through a process called neurogenesis and synaptic pruning, our brains physically restructure themselves based on our daily habits. Whether you are learning a new language or practicing mindfulness, you are a sculptor of your own biological hardware. Your actions today literally rewire the physical neural pathways of tomorrow. As we look forward, the history of the mind may eventually leave biology behind. With CRISPR gene editing and Neuralink interfaces, we are on the verge of directing our own evolution. The question for the next century is, what will we choose to become when we finally have the keys to our own cognitive architecture? We are moving from being products of evolution to its architects. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.